Glad you're with us on Mile High Living. I'm Gina Bellich. If you or a loved one suffers from cognitive decline, memory loss, dementia, or even early stage Alzheimer's disease, then you don't want to miss our first guest and what she has to offer. Today we have with us the Communications Director from the Integrated Health Center of the Rockies, Amanda Vargas. She is here to share the amazing progress that has been achieved in the field of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's care. You know, Amanda, we've talked before, but when we really address this situation, out of all the chronic diseases that any one of us could get, doctors say that dementia and Alzheimer's disease really is the one we fear the most. Why is that?
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that, Gina. The first one being that it is the only one of the nation's 10 most common causes of death in which there is no effective treatment. And secondly, not only is it fatal, but it actually robs these victims and their families of their lives long before they're actually gone. So if you think about it, it's the only disease in which the patient dies not just once, but twice. The first time when they lose their memory and all mental faculties, and then again when the rest of them finally dies. It's an excruciating experience for everyone involved.
It is. It's one of those things. So if you or a loved one, if any of this that we're going to be talking about hits home or hits close to home for someone you care about, you need to remember that a free cognitive decline and Alzheimer's dinner event is coming up on Tuesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. You just need to call 303-974-1087. That's the number right there on your screen because you want to reserve your seat. The seats are limited, so you want to reserve yours. Now, from what you've learned with working with doctors, a typical experience for someone maybe going through cognitive decline or dementia due to Alzheimer's disease, what does that look like for them?
Well, it usually starts innocently enough. Maybe they're just forgetting things here and there. They're misplacing items, or they just notice they're not quite as sharp as they once used to be. And something that we notice with these patients is that they tend to brush these symptoms off, and maybe they'll even call them quote-unquote senior moments. But as a little time goes on, these symptoms become expanded and more apparent, and other people begin to notice. So maybe they're having trouble putting names with faces, they're repeating stories, they're having difficulty staying organized, and they're having to rely very heavily on note-taking and calendars just to keep things straight. So there's a myriad of symptoms that could be indicative of something going very wrong.
So that can lead a lot of people to think, okay, well, it's time to go to my physician. What kind of experience are they having when they actually then go to their doctors?
It depends on what they're experiencing when they go in and how vigilant their provider is. Up until recently, there really wasn't any definitive testing that would allow a clinician to make a concrete diagnosis. So it's not unusual for these patients to experience the runaround. But with recent advances, we have found that certain early stages of Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and cognitive decline are actually reversible. So they don't have to deal with having to assign a power of attorney anymore. They don't have to deal with having to get their affairs in order because of the treatment that practices like our office provide.
Well, and that leads to the next question, because this is phenomenal. I mean, when you talk about this, there is actually, you know, things have changed in the whole entire community now. So you're actually seeing some amazing results there at IHCR. Talk about that. This is the good news in all of it, right?
Yes. So through science and clinical experience, we now know that the symptoms of these conditions are not only preventable, but they're actually reversible as well. And we also understand what's causing these conditions. And as it turns out, it's not the amyloid plaquing like we thought it was all along. In addition, there's new technology and a new treatment approach that is allowing the symptoms of dementia, cognitive decline, and early stages of Alzheimer's disease to reverse with a success rate of over 90%.
Now that is a number that I'm sure just perked up your ears, because that is something significant. So if anything we're saying here, especially with numbers like what Amanda's talking about, is something that hits home for you or a loved one, you need to go ahead and call that number you see on your screen, because there is going to be a free cognitive decline and Alzheimer's dinner event that's coming up. That's going to be Tuesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. So call the number you see on your screen and reserve your seat right away. Let's go back to this more great news. What are some of the specific results that your doctors are seeing?
Well, we're seeing patients going back to work. They're able to drive again. They're getting their memory back, and some of them are even leaving assisted living facilities.
Well, when you start to hear results like that, that is something that makes people so happy. So when people are at home, they're hearing this and they're thinking, I don't know if this is for me or something like that. Who really should be attending this event?
Well, if you're experiencing any of the symptoms associated with cognitive decline, like brain fog, memory loss, misplacing items, difficulty reading, writing, speaking, having difficulty performing very basic tasks at your job, having difficulty driving, any of these things, then I highly recommend that you give our office a call to see if you qualify for this event. It's something that could save your life.
I love it. Amanda, so great talking to you. Okay, folks, go ahead and call 303-974-1087 to reserve your seat for the free informational dinner event and seminar called The End of Alzheimer's. This is Tuesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. Go ahead and call 303-974-1087 to see if you qualify to attend this free informational event on reversing cognitive decline and the symptoms of early stage Alzheimer's disease. The Integrated Health Center of the Rockies paid for this segment.